I'm Shane.
And I'm Bo.
We are your Kentucky Fried Critics.
Welcome back, everybody. Another new episode for us.
That's right. Finishing out our Thanksgiving marathon here.
Yeah, that was fun.
As you're listening to this, should be the Saturday after Thanksgiving. So
Yeah.
all the festivities have wrapped up. You're hopefully recovering and recuperating from
We're all
everything
full of
going
turkey
on.
and sleepy.
That's right.
Turkey.
Before we start getting into this episode and why we think that maybe it's the perfect thing to wrap up for after having dealt with family.
Family and shit, yeah.
Let's go ahead and get the socials taken care of. So
Pause for the cause.
that's right. So, of course, we're going to start with Facebook and Instagram. Like we always say, those are the easy ones.
Yeah.
It's going to be just, whatever the URL is, and then straight Kentucky Fried Critics. No spacing, no hyphens, no anything like that.
No hyphens.
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's fine.
Then of course we move on to YouTube. YouTube's going to be the one that hopefully we should be finding out something within the next month.
Right.
And it's either going to be that we get
They're going to email us or call us.
Oh, I'll just have to check.
That'd be cool if they called us.
No, I'll just have to check. No, they're not going to see who,
YouTube, call me.
which is again always the perfect segue into the website. The website being your favorite.
My favorite one.
So that's going to be shows.acast.com/Kentucky-fried-critics.
Yeah, I tried to do it with him. I messed it up. I don't have your flow.
Yeah, lots of practice.
Yeah.
Again, that website's being hosted by our wonderful podcast hosts at Acast.
Good people.
That's right. They help us supply our podcast to all major podcast platforms. So it's going to be Spotify or most major. I don't want to say all. You always get presumptuous and then somebody's like,
Well, it's not on this one.
I mean, that's my favorite.
You're not on Pandora or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, so I don't want to say all.
Yeah, most
major
is a good
podcast platforms. That's right. So, that's good. Again, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio.
Yay. Still haven't got my shirt. I'm going to keep asking. This bit goes till I get a shirt, you guys.
Maybe someone will make you one, and
I will accept that.
don't forget we also have our multinational fan base out there.
I will accept it in any language.
I have no idea what podcast platforms they might be listening to us on because I don't know.
I don't know how it works.
That's all the socials though. So what are we?
Like us.
What were we
us.
drinking again today?
Oh, what are we drinking? We're drinking some nice white wine, some chardonnay.
Some Chardonnay.
Yeah, this is generally what you drink at Thanksgiving dinner, right?
Yeah, white wine with poultry.
White
for
wine
sure.
with poultry.
This is going to be maybe a little more obscure for everybody. So I'm not going to be at all hurt by the fact that most people don't get this. Right?
Yeah.
So we watched Home for the Holidays, which is, again, this is one I introduced Bo to.
Yeah.
He had never seen.
I've never even heard of it.
It is a dramedy. It is a drama comedy.
Yeah.
I would say this one is, though, light on the drama.
Yeah, it's pretty light.
That being said, the comedy is also not heavy comedy. This is more like a slice of life movie. Like there's a lot more real worldness to things in this than there is.
Yeah, you can relate to a lot of the shit going on in this movie.
This is one of those movies, again, the reason why it probably is perfect fit for after Thanksgiving,
right,
is that this movie will also encompass the chaos that maybe you just dealt with too and help you come to terms with everything that just happened.
Help you just be like, it's not just
someone else.
Somebody else had us to deal with this exact bullshit.
Literally, whether you're thinking to yourself that means this character dealt with it, or you realize that it means a writer was dealing with these same things too.
Or even if it's just the general setup of Thanksgiving and all that. I got to do this, got to cook that, got to have these people are coming, got to make sure this guy don't sit with that guy because they don't get along. All that.
Yeah, this movie covers...
Yeah, pretty much all that shit.
Covers everything. It's good.
Oh, it's really good. I liked it.
Yeah. Let's cover a few things before we get started. So one of the few times we'll mention the director. As we say, we tend to not mention directors or writers unless it happens to be super relevant to us.
Yeah.
That's maybe a little conceited, but that's just how we are.
That's how we are. Like, we're not going to mention the director unless we specifically care about that person.
That being said, the director for this one is Jodie Foster.
Jodie Foster. Yay.
So this movie is 95. So this is like hot off her being in some big movies.
Yeah, she was after Silence of the Lambs and shit.
She's decided to take a step.
Yeah, she wants
behind the
to go
camera
do behind the scenes stuff.
and try her hand out. I liked it.
Ooh, I thought it was really good.
You know, I didn't see any problems with how she set up scenes, how she framed things.
She understood the script and didn't do anything super artsy or, you know, any weird like Dutch angles and stuff. Was this her first one?
I think so. Again, you know me.
Yeah, I didn't do a lot of research.
Do a lot of research. I just know that this is
If it was her first one,
bravo.
Right?
It was definitely great. We'll go from there into the cast. The cast that we have for this movie is star-studded. There is a ton of really famous people. We got Anne Bancroft as Adele, the mom.
Yeah.
Charles Durning as Henry, the dad. Then we got Holly Hunter as our main character, Claudia. Robert Downey Jr.
I miss this version of Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, well,
we'll never get it again. He's way too famous.
He was already famous at this point. He's been acting
like Iron Man famous though.
No, but he was already a Brat Packer and stuff. But yeah, the big key here about Robert Downey Jr. is that this is pre rehab.
Oh yeah, no, his pupils are so small through this entire movie.
It is well documented that he was strung out on heroin, and he got called out by Jodie Foster after filming.
Hey, I mean, he did a great job.
Then we got Cynthia Stevenson. That's Joanne. That's the middle sister. I'm not real sure if she was Tommy's the baby. Right?
Yeah. I feel like Joanne is the middle one. She acts like the middle kid.
Child.
I have to be responsible for everything.
This is one that I definitely want to mention because I might be a shock to you. Aunt Gladdy, Geraldine Chaplin. It's Charlie Chaplin's daughter.
She thankfully doesn't look much like her dad.
That was a surprise to me.
I didn't know that.
Again,
she's my favorite character.
we got a little ahead of ourselves and said the wine, but didn't say why it attached.
Yeah.
We'll get into that later, but it is because of Aunt Gladdy, and she has a
toast.
She has a wonderfully wine-inspired, insane speech.
Yes.
In the movie, that is what inspired us to be drinking. It's our connection.
Yeah, it's how we connected it because she got trashed on it, so are we.
We got Steve Guttenberg as Walter Wedman. That's Joanne's husband. That's the middle child's husband.
Yeah, this is the only movie I've ever seen where I did not like Steve Guttenberg, and I don't know how I feel about it.
He's definitely not a likable guy.
No, he has moop face the entire time. Just people don't listen to me.
Yeah, and he's mad and angry and frumpy about things the whole time. And then we'll wrap up our cast really with two more people, one of which is important, one of which is not. Claire Danes is in the movie.
Nice.
Believe it or not, she's not important.
No.
She is the daughter to our main character, and she is in 3 scenes?
3.
Something?
Yeah.
Usually not even, and she's not with anybody.
Technically 3. The car, the airport parking lot, and the phone call. That's it.
So again, and that's what I mean. Like she's with one character in the movie. The other person though is our non-family character. He's not related to the family. That's Leo Fish.
Yeah,
played by Dylan McDermott.
Yeah, I like him.
Yeah, no, and I like Dylan McDermott, and I like the character. I like Leo Fish.
Yeah,
Leo Fish seems like a pretty decent guy.
He's a nice dude.
Stand up dude. Especially for dealing with this crazy ass family.
No, he just kind of goes with
because he's not related.
No, he just he's Tommy's friend.
Just rolls with the punches for things.
Right? He's just like, wow, you all are nuts.
I think that covers everybody of any kind of real importance.
The important players.
Yeah.
The stage is set for our dear play. Come follow us, dear listeners. Are we ready to get into the movie?
Here we are. And so
your favorite part.
Yeah, I'll kick us off.
Yay.
With the music. The music intro to this one. Super awesome.
Yeah.
And for a change, an actual song so I can reference what it was.
Was it Jethro Tull?
No.
Ah.
It's a cover of Evil Ways by Santana.
Nice.
The cover was by
the flute. So
it does have a jazz flute.
I was like, man, this is some Jethro Tull shit.
It's by I did not look up this. Just by looking up the fact that it was a cover, of course, I found out who it was by. But yeah, this is not important whatsoever. But it's Rusted Roots.
Nice.
A one-hit wonder from the 90s, but apparently they also recorded this cover of Evil Ways.
Some banging flute in there, man.
There's some badass jazz flute going on. Jazz flute.
Jazz flute. He was going for it, man. That's why I was like, this sounds like Jethro Tull.
I don't know if this accurately sets up anything
Not
for the
really.
movie.
It's just cool.
Now, that being said, this is a slice of life movie, so what song doesn't accurately...
That's fair.
Because it's just whatever. Because I think the implication is this is what
That's what she's listening to in her headphones.
Yeah, because the movie starts off Claudia.
She's a Rusted Root fan, I guess.
Claudia is at work.
She's a paint restorer.
Yeah, like a classical
at a
paint.
museum.
Yeah. Make sure people understand. They don't think we're
She
talking about
works
like
in
house paint.
Yeah, she works in Chicago at like I'm pretty sure is the Metropolitan Museum.
I don't know
based on what she comes outside the front of the building.
But they don't actually tell us.
No.
So unless you know your landmarks, you're not going to know that.
85% sure that's what it is.
And this is literally what the day before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, because she's about to get off. Because the guy even says, he's like, you're about to dip off early to go see your family and stuff. She's like, yeah.
So it's the day before Thanksgiving. He's like, her boss is like, I need to talk to you.
Which is never good.
And she just starts
completely oblivious. She's starts
rambling.
Yeah.
Uncomfortable rambling, right? Isn't she
she's
talking about a relationship or something weird to this dude?
Yeah. She's super into the painting.
Well, that in the beginning, but then she gets awkward about
like
stuff.
I've been struggling, working, struggle, working, you know, and I'm like, okay.
And it ends in the office with
and she just plops down in a chair like it's her office.
She's dealing with her boss, and her boss 100% is like, I have to fire. Again, after being overshared with.
Yeah.
He's just looking at her like,
I gotta fire you.
Sorry. And she freaks out for a minute, and he's like, you're the youngest staff member, so you have to go. And then
she starts to be like, no, that one guy, he's
and this bothered me because he's like, they're
assistants, they'll be gone too.
In 6 months, though, I'm like, no, fire 2 assistants and keep her on for 3 months.
That's what I would do.
Right? Give her time to find something.
Because he lost their federal funding or something.
Why? Yeah, it doesn't even matter. But why would you even punish her?
She's clearly the one that's restoring these giant paintings.
She's the one who should have the benefit of time to look for another job.
Right.
Not the assistants. But I digress. It's not really important.
No. She bothered me.
Yeah. She gets told this information by her boss and then decides to
kiss him.
Again, this is out of the blue. This is not like they had a secret relationship.
She drops it down on the ground. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And he like hugs her. And then all of a sudden she just starts kissing him. And he's just like,
he blames himself.
He's just like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure it wasn't you, bro.
Yeah. Pretty sure she made every bit of that move.
He ends it with, God, I hate the holidays.
Yeah, I was like, that's such a perfect ending. He's like, I just fired you the day before Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Man, I hate the holidays.
At least he feels bad about it. And he got a kiss out of it.
So she gets fired. She immediately goes outside, gets picked up by her daughter.
Yeah.
And it's literally on her way to the airport. She has no time to process
anything.
Everything
like she gets in the car,
her.
she has her head on the thing, and she turns it on. And then her daughter's at the weird, like, move, I'm driving.
Yeah.
We're late already.
And her daughter, again, played by Claire Danes. Again, not in the movie very much. And every time she's in the movie, all I can feel is my so-called something. She's definitely giving off the vibes already.
Yeah.
Whatever it is about her, she definitely is just bleeding my so-called life right now.
Yeah.
Like
the hat even.
Yeah, it's bad.
That's something like that she would have been wearing that exact outfit on that show.
100%. Now, my next problem with this, though, is, and I will go ahead and say this, she is supposed to only be 16.
Yes.
Due to the fact that she is driving, and all we know about her right now is that she is staying in this city of Chicago by herself for Thanksgiving. I did not think she was 16 until later in the movie when they officially say it.
No, I thought she was like 18.
At least.
At least, right?
At least.
20s.
And so it makes the whole rest of this conversation very awkward. So
maybe not 20s.
Certainly
18.
Between 18 and 20.
Yeah.
It makes, like I said, thinking this, it makes the whole next conversation
when they get to the airport.
Very hard to understand. Because she gets to the airport and drops her mom off. And immediately, her mom had not been worried about leaving her 16-year-old. Hence why I didn't realize she was 16.
No, because she's supposed to have like her friends with her or something.
Until the last second. And then last second, she was like, wait a minute. Your friends are staying. Because she mentions going to see her boyfriend. And she's like, oh, of course, mom. And then literally literally she's about to pull off
out.
because she's already been told that
Yeah,
she
the
needs to
cop's
pull.
there. He's like, you need to move your car. It just rolls the window down real quick. Like, oh, hey, mom.
By the way, I am going to be having sex with my boyfriend this weekend.
Yeah, just throwing, so you know that
It will happen.
it's going to happen safely and not in the car.
Yeah.
She made a point.
So again,
Were you too fucking good?
well,
better than the rest of us?
there's such a weird thing going on there because, like, again, the first time I watched it, I didn't realize that she was supposed to only be 16. So I'm looking at the scene like, what the hell's the
Why
mom's
would you tell your
problem?
mom?
Well, and like, what is her mom's problem? Because
Yeah.
she did get freaked out by it. I'm like,
Like,
she's
okay,
old
I'm sure
enough. It's okay.
She's done it before. Look at her. She's like 20.
But then there's this whole scene once once I rewatched it and I know that she's supposed to be 16 and it's like, okay, now my problem is why did her mom not have a problem with leaving her 16-year-old daughter in Chicago until minutes before getting on
Right.
the plane? So I had a lot going on processing this scene several times. But yeah, so it was definitely a very strange,
Yeah, it was super weird.
very unwarranted, weird moment.
Why would you tell your mom to begin with?
Regardless of your age.
Yeah, regardless of like, I mean, if you are planning to do it safely and all the other BS, I'm like, well, then just, she don't need to know. She doesn't want to know, I'm sure.
I guess.
I wouldn't want to fucking know.
No. The 90s were a weird time, I guess.
I
Man.
guess, man. Everybody was way too honest.
Yeah. Not that this is it doesn't even seem important right now, but Claudia walks through the airport, drops her
Lose
coat,
her coat.
right?
Her nice coat. Which is only for a joke later.
Well, no, it's for two jokes.
Two jokes,
It's
yeah.
one is the fact that later she does mention it. But then it's because, I'll go ahead and just mention this, she loses the coat so that way when she gets home, her mom will give her a coat to wear.
the big-
the big giant pink coat that makes her look like a kid
Yeah.
again. Because that's kind of the theme of the movie, is that going home again as an adult
Yeah, your
just makes
parents still kind of want to
feel-
treat you like
and it
you're
makes you feel
5.
like you're a kid. That's literally the theme. She walks through the airport hearing other adults talking to their
parents
adult
on the
parents.
phone and stuff.
And it's all of them being like,
My favorite, there's no nuclear robots on the moon. And
Yeah,
if
the
there
last
were,
one.
so what?
the last one was the
Yeah,
absurd.
right. That was great.
But yeah, the other ones are, it's literally just, it's mundane stuff. Like, no, mom, I don't enjoy eating that anymore.
Right.
I've grown up. You know, it's
like,
just,
you have to accept that I do my own laundry now. Because
Right. I
I
have my
guarantee you
own
her
way to
mom
do
was
it.
like, oh, when you get here, you can just throw your laundry in. Like she's coming back from college or something. The
they
woman's
weren't even-
clearly
it was older than that. Yeah,
she's
yeah.
like in her 40s.
Well, that was the running theme of
Yeah.
the movie is like,
Your parents never see you as more than a kid.
And when you go home for something like the holidays,
Yeah.
you feel like a child all over again. They won't let you be the adult you are. There's definitely a running theme of this in the movie. So Claudia gets on the plane,
Sits next to the most annoying woman
Yeah.
in the fucking world.
kept trying to butt her way into conversations
and-
for nothing.
Eating with her mouth freaking just talking while eating.
The only thing that really happens on the plane is that she does call her brother Tommy.
Yeah, because he's not going to.
He's not going
to
to
be there.
She told her daughter he wouldn't be there. He's obviously her crutch in the family.
Yeah.
Her little brother is
The only one that she,
the
like,
one she
relates
can relate
to.
to. And so she calls him and leaves
the other
him.
weirdo in the group.
She calls him. She leaves him this detailed voicemail.
And then like realizes it at the end. She's like, "Oh God, I can't believe I said all this on an answering machine."
Well, what's funny is like like she's acting like she just like poured out like weeks worth of drama, but she didn't. Like everything was
It's
one
like
day.
like not even a day. It's probably
Like
like
4 hours before she got on the plane. She literally was like, I got fired. I made out with my boss, and my daughter's about to lose her virginity.
Yeah, it's been a day, and now I'm on my way to go see. She didn't even call mom and dad. She called Henry and Adele. Not the most loving family in the world, it
Well, I
seems.
guess. That being said, when she gets home,
Yeah.
as soon as we see the airport again, like
No, her mom and dad are super excited to see her.
one, it's a weird dysfunction, but it's a good dysfunction, right?
Yeah.
I mean, this is
it comes from a warm, happy heart place.
She sees her daughter. She's like, "Where's your coat?"
Where's your coat? How do you lose your coat? She's the naggy mom.
Well, and
Right?
she has the spare coat
She has
with
an
her.
extra. Why'd you have an extra coat?
She said, "I
like,
carry it with me.
I
always."
just carry it with me in case.
And it's a matching coat to
Yeah.
the one she has on. It is a floor. And
Yeah, it is
literally,
like a trench coat.
And especially for Holly Hunter, for Claudia,
Yeah, she's
who
like
is a
5
short
foot
woman,
nothing.
It is literally a floor length coat.
And it kind of hides her face.
It makes her look like a
It
child.
does. She looks like what's the kid in Christmas Story?
Yes.
He comes out and he's got the big
That's
suit.
what- that's
I can't
exactly-
lower my arms.
It's exactly what she looks like. It is
Yeah.
like, and so again, it's to add to this feeling. It's to really mess with her psychologically.
Yeah, it's like, aha, you're 9 again.
You are literally a child now that you're back home.
No wonder her mom didn't try to like hold her hand through the airport.
They all pile into the car, and we see what I feel is one of the most relatable, awkward car rides back to her parents' house ever. It's
Right.
everything. Again, it doesn't have to be your parents. I'm
No.
not saying you can relate to this because your parents are like this, but you
somebody.
know people like this. Her mom starts telling her a story about people that
she
she
does
may
not-
or may not know
or knew
but
20 years ago.
No, I was gonna say she may or may not know, but even if she did know, she doesn't know them well enough to be told this story.
Right. And she even says it. She's just like, I don't know who that is. And she's just like, oh, yeah,
course you
you
do.
know who she is. She's a chocoholic. Like, that explains everything.
Like that was the thing that was gonna magically let you know.
I'm just like, that's who that is. I know now.
We all know someone
Yeah.
who likes to tell stories like that, always insisting that you have.
No. You know what I'm
you're
talking
connected.
about.
You know what I'm talking about.
I know them, so you know them.
We're not even people. They just do it with everything, right? Like subjects.
Yeah.
Whatever. There's like, you know what I'm talking about. We've talked about this before. You know.
No.
You've seen that movie. No, no. Yeah, you have. You know the one.
You went with me. I swear I didn't.
Right? You know, like that kind of person.
Yeah.
That's definitely the scene we're supposed to get.
We were sitting in the same room. I swear to God, you were there. No, dude. No idea what you're talking about.
What was it? Henry is just in the driver's seat singing songs.
He's just
oblivious.
oblivious.
To everything.
He's
that's
kind of that
going
way
on.
through the whole movie.
He kind of is. Not real bad.
No.
But kind of. Then my favorite part though is there's no need to focus on any of the conversations and what's said. It's not that kind of movie.
No.
Most of these are literally throwaway conversations. They're just
Filler
setting up for
dialogue.
you the kind of people
Yeah.
that it's great character development conversations, but they're not important
No.
for the most part. Whatever her mom is going on about in the back, you start to hear though that her mom is the kind of person who always messes up words. And one of the first times it happens is when she's in the back, and I don't know if you caught it, but she throws out Chinese decor. Not decor.
Oh yeah, where she's just like,
Yeah,
she's
she's
after the
decorating her-
chocoholic line.
she's
like,
decorating her
She's
house
like,
and
you
all
know,
this-
she's a chocoholic. She's decorating her whole house in Chinese decor. It's like,
No,
whoa,
she says it's literally decor.
decor. That's
Yeah.
not how you say that.
But yeah, so the beauty though in the car while all this is going on, she again just to drive home,
Yeah.
much like the airport where she sees all the people having these conversations with their parents. She rolls her head, looks
out
to the
the
car
window.
next to her, and there's literally a guy,
Having the exact same thing happen to
and
him.
he just rolls his eyes like,
Yeah, they
"Ugh."
just look at each other, and he just looks. He's just like, and then they pull away.
Then they make it to her parents' house. She is finally home for the
Yay.
holidays. Immediately she gets inside. She's like, "Oh, I love my parents' cat." But
No.
as soon as she walks in the door, what does the cat do?
It's
Coughs up a fur
coughs
ball
up a
right for
fur
her.
ball, and she's just like, you not feeling good too, buddy? Because she has a cold or
Yeah.
something.
It's a nice, how do you do? Nice
Right?
welcome home.
As soon as you walk home, have that.
I'm the
That's
new,
for you.
I'm the new favorite child. This is what I leave for you.
Yeah. They're not going to pay as much attention to me now you're here, says the cat.
Yeah. So this is one of those I don't have again. Most of the conversations aren't important. She's talking with her daughter in the kitchen. They're just having the
Yeah,
conversation. Dad's doing whatever Dad's doing. I don't remember yet because I think right now he's just kind of moving around in the
Yeah, he's
background.
just wandering around.
Because the whole deal with him is he just retired, so he doesn't know what to do with
Yeah, he
himself.
doesn't
So
know
he's
what
just
to do with
constantly
himself.
bouncing around the house, finding
and she's annoyed
odd
with
jobs. Yeah. But during the conversation, she throws out her other weird word thing. Instead of saying the Rock of Gibraltar, she says the Rock of Gibraltar.
it. The road of Gibraltar.
So the mom does this throughout the whole movie. She just slips up these words. Like she gets them
That's
like
pretty funny. I
yeah.
didn't catch that.
I don't know if I have any more in my notes, but trust me, if I do, I'll make sure to tell you when we get there. But yeah, like
Yay.
her mom does it a few times. It's comical.
If she would slow down with her talking, she might say things correctly.
But during the scene though is when we get to see that regardless of what anybody wants to say, her parents have a beautiful relationship, right? Like
Yeah.
we see
He comes in,
Henry sneaks up. He's
sneaks
finally
up.
done with whatever job.
Yeah, whatever he's doing.
He sneaks up behind his wife, spooks her a little bit,
Yeah.
and then starts dancing with
Dancing
her.
around.
And then she throws out a very comical but very real, "Can't you just load the dishwasher first?"
Right. Just how can't you just load the dishwasher for you? He's like, nope, now, Miss America.
It was so
Swoops
great.
her down for the kiss. He's a very romantic
It's,
man.
again, I love it. I
like
really,
the
it
dad.
paints a picture of like this beautiful relationship that
they're
have.
happy.
It's very real, very Americana.
They
right?
they bitch, they bicker, they fight, but they
they
love
love.
each other. Yeah.
They love as deep as all the rest of it. We see Claudia's like, okay, well, I'm
I'm gonna go.
I'm
fuck
done
off.
with my day.
Yeah.
So she's like, I'm gonna go upstairs. She kind of sneaks away while they're dancing.
Yeah.
She should have known better. She snuck away to go smoke some weed.
Yeah, she did.
Thought she was being slick. The only problem is if you try to sneak away and do something like that, they're gonna come asking what you're doing.
Yeah.
You gotta come up with an excuse of why you're leaving and let them know so that way they're less likely to follow.
I don't know. I feel like her mom would have done it anyway.
Probably, but I feel like she'd had a better shot if she didn't try to sneak. Because as soon as she snuck away, as soon as her mom, you know it. As soon as her mom was like, she's
Where'd
not
she
here.
go? I got something I had to tell her.
Immediately went up to the room.
Yeah.
Right? You know, and again, that's what we see. She lights it. As soon as she lights it,
Gets that one hit, starts singing a little song.
bum, 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 bum.
Honey, I brought you an alarm clock.
It's horrible. And she immediately has to put it out. Luckily for her mom always has a cigarette in hand.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's a scene in the movie that we don't see Adele with a cigarette burning in her hand.
I have no idea.
Nice 100.
Oh, yeah, long
cigarette.
ones, holding it in her teeth, just talking away.
It might be like a 110, right? Like a slightly skinnier. It's not a 120. It's not like a Virginia Slim. But so she barged in on Claudia, ruined her relax. The only thing she was going to have to try to relax for a little bit.
Ruined my smoke sesh.
And then the dad barges in, shuts the light off. And it was so funny because when it first happened, I thought he was just, again.
Just being a dick.
Well, no, not even that, dude. Like old men in retirement. It's a joke. Old men in retirement and they start shutting off all the light. You know, they're not trying to, well, now that I'm home, I'm going to manage the electric bill like a Nazi. No one's in the,
one's in this room.
Nobody should be in this room.
So I'm turning off the lights.
But that's not even what
I'm going to get this power bill down to $30.
Yeah, but that's not even what it was, though. Like, that's what the best part was. Like, that's just what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Because that's the cliche. But he was just like, I'm changing the bulb. It's supposed to be a three-way. Too bright in here. Three-way makes it the right light.
Say thank you, Dad.
Yeah, it was so strange.
Thanks, Dad.
It was so strange. Again, though, he's just looking for these projects. And that's exactly what the mom said, too. Like, as soon as he did it, he was just like, she was like, he just keeps trying to find these projects. He doesn't even know where half,
Fix-It all of a
he doesn't
sudden.
know where half the things in the house are. I have to tell him because he's literally never been home before to know where these things are. Now he's here all the time.
Now
he doesn't know where anything is.
He's bored.
Again, this movie is slice of life. It's beautifully trying to show you, if not things you've dealt with, things you definitely can believe are real.
Yeah.
And this is one of those moments where it's just like beautifully true. Again, I've never personally dealt with it, but I can believe this. Where the mom just was like, did I tell you about the newest Dear Abby article?
She's the Dear Abby thing.
But then she starts to read or relay the story from Dear Abby, right? About a woman complaining about her mom who is going slightly crazy as she just starts undressing in front of her daughter.
Yeah, it was a
her
little
daughter
weird.
Looking at her like, you don't see the irony right now?
Right.
You're the crazy mom. I'm the person who would have wrote that letter.
That's pretty much what it is. It's just like this could be us, basically.
And again, the mom totally didn't even the mom was like, can you believe a mom just going off the rails like that? And
right.
like totally oblivious to the fact that she
bra and weird little night skirt thing.
And again, I get it. We see that obviously this room, the spare bedroom, does
been
have
turned
all
into
of like
her
a giant
closet.
closet.
Yeah.
I get that that's what
that
but
happens.
she could have
grabbed something, went in the other room.
Like that's an invasion of.
Well, she didn't even change. She just left the room in the thing. She just took her clothes off, and you could have done that in the other room.
Such an invasion of weird, like crossing boundaries that can indeed happen.
Yeah.
With adult parents and their adult children.
Right. We go outside, and the nicest fucking car pulls
the GTO?
up. The Pontiac GTO. Okay, I know I've mentioned like every episode because there's been like a Trans Am.
Well,
right?
well, not only that, but Thanksgiving is just our marathon here has been
just
full of cars.
Full of cars. I would trade both of those Trans Ams for this car.
Dude, that GTO is nice.
It is sick.
I love the color. Again, we can't see it yet.
Yeah,
In the
it's all
dark,
dark.
you can't really tell. But when we see it, it is a sweet dark blue.
Ooh, so
It's
pretty.
Nice.
But it pulls up and they seem like they might be robbers. They're pulling like night vision shit
Yeah,
out.
night
They're
vision
like,
goggles.
and they're like creeping up on the window and they're looking through and Dad's in
They're
the
watching
kitchen.
Dad, and it's the moment that we can totally tell that it's. We don't know that it's Tommy, but we can tell it's someone who knows the
Yeah,
family at
somebody
this point
knows
because
him.
he's kind of making fun of the fact. And I want to point out this is weird because Dad is surgically.
He's surgically trying to remove pie filling.
But do you understand why it's so weird? Because he's surgically removing so he can take some of this pie without anyone knowing.
anyone
right?
noticing?
Earlier, he was eating a full slice of pie, so there he is.
Yeah, because he comes in, he's like ready whip.
So he has already smashed an entire pumpkin pie that was for him, so that way that one could be for Thanksgiving.
You know
And he
that's what happened.
Oh, 100%. It has to be, because that one's a full pie.
Yep. This is your pie.
And
this
killed
is
it.
for that. And he already ate that one. And he's
now
like,
he's
no,
trying to
gotta have
sneak-
just a little bit more. I just want to taste.
And he does so much work.
He does. He gets
To
a
get
little
this
knife
tiny-
out and he's going around the outside edge of the crust and trying to like lift it up from the crust.
but this is, and he succeeds. My point isn't even that. My point is he does all this work, lays down, and immediately tells
Rats
on himself.
out.
He immediately, like, his wife wasn't even awake.
No, he just lays down. He's just like,
I gotta tell you.
I had a piece of pumpkin pie.
Well, no, not even.
Or not
piece.
even. Yeah.
I had some
I
pumpkin
had a
pie
sign. Yeah.
because he didn't have a piece. He just slid his finger underneath the
Just
skin.
a little bit.
And
You
scooped
coulda got away with
scooped
that.
the filling.
Yeah. If you hadn't ratted yourself out, he felt so guilty.
I guess
Because he's like, he knew he ate a whole pie.
But so as this is going on, we see Tommy. And who we know is Leo Fish.
But we haven't been introduced to him yet. But he's there.
He sneaks on to Claudia, who's sleeping in the bed, wakes her up,
Yep.
snaps a
The
picture.
Polaroid picture. Remember those?
Constantly through this movie, he snaps compromising situations of his sister,
which is
with
very,
the Polaroid.
very weird.
It is. Again, he is gay, so it's less.
Still
not
weird.
It's weird, but it's not incestual.
Yeah.
But weird.
Yeah, because
I want to circle back.
Because she's like in her underwear, and he even like lifted her shirt and shoved the camera up under there.
But so he takes the pictures of his sister. She's screaming.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, Dad comes
Coming
rolling
with
out,
the baseball bat. He's ready to
take out.
go.
Ready to take out Leo.
Yeah,
Again, we still don't know who
Leo's
he is
just
yet.
like, no, I'm with your son.
I'm with your son. And as soon as he says that, Claudia looks up. Who's that?
Yeah,
And he
who's
goes,
that?
That's Leo Fish.
Like they should know who he is.
And then the dad's like, who's Leo Fish? Him.
Him, that guy.
Well, actually, the first joke
no,
was,
the first. Yeah, he's like, who's the guy? I don't know.
I thought he was with you.
I thought he was with you.
and then before Dad swings the bat,
Yeah, he's like,
he
no, no, no,
immediately
no.
is like, whoa, I'm
Hang
just
on.
joking.
I'm
I'm just
just
playing.
kidding.
I'm just playing. But so it's a fun little moment. We see everybody gets introduced.
Yeah,
As
and-
soon as the introduction, though, we get our first inkling about Tommy and being gay.
Yeah.
Because Claudia
Claudia's like,
mentions
"Where's Jack?"
Jack? Because she sees that he's with another guy.
With another dude.
With Leo
He's a
Fish.
very handsome man.
Yeah. And she is very upset. We can tell.
Yeah,
again.
she's like, what
so
the fuck are you-
upsetness also lets us know that not only is he in this relationship with Jack, that it's got to be serious
Yeah,
because
it's been
she's
going on
pretty
for a
upset
while.
that Jack is not there.
She liked Jack.
Yeah.
Who's this new asshole?
That's exactly how the scene plays, right?
Yeah.
And so again, it is now supposed to be like 3:00 in the morning, the day of Thanksgiving, right?
Right, and they're just
Well,
There's up.
well, again, her mom had already told her the night before, wake me up at 5.
Yeah, waking up at 5.
So it's not that far from when she
Yeah,
was
so
going to
they
work.
just go. They're making coffee.
They start making
breakfast
coffee, getting everything going. Leo Fish starts talking to Claudia really uncomfortably.
Yeah,
Did
he
you notice
does.
that? Like he leans in really weird,
Yeah.
having some really personal conversation type stuff. Like and not like
she kinda shuts
not
him
like
down.
sexual, but just overly personal
Yeah.
for someone that you've just met and it's 3:00 in the morning at
Yeah.
their parents' house.
Isn't that where she shuts him down? She's just like, "What? You've been here for like 2 minutes."
well, no,
Who are
that's
you to
because,
say?
that's because he starts to say something about
about
the
Tommy.
dance moves.
He's like
Tommy's
all in the hips.
It's all in the hips, isn't it? And then she shoots him down because again, she thinks she's still trying to defend Jack. And that is the
we're
running
Team Jack over here.
Well, and that's the running gag for like the next hour.
Yeah, no,
is that there is a constant disconnect of Leo not knowing that Claudia thinks he's gay and a replacement for Jack. I don't even think Leo knows. He doesn't. He tells us a couple of times that he doesn't know because she mentions Jack.
Yeah, because he's like,
and he thinks
Jack
it's an
guy?
ex-boyfriend,
right? He's like, this guy's starting to
of hers.
piss me off.
Yeah, he thinks it's an ex-boyfriend of hers, which means that literally he is just a work friend of Tommy's, as she's told, and does not want to believe. Because he is such just a work friend that he does not even know Tommy's husband's name.
Yeah. He's like, if I literally brought this guy because you might think he's cute, but Tommy's such a dick, he thinks this is funny.
But so the running gag, though, is that Leo Fish doesn't realize that Claudia thinks he's gay, and Claudia doesn't realize that Leo Fish is trying to put the moves on her.
Comedy gold.
It is.
It's great.
There are lots of scenes that I think play amazingly because of this one gag.
Yeah.
And they use it. They do kind of use it till it's dead, but I mean they masterfully use it.
Yeah, it's great.
We see them; they're all dancing and they're all doing their different things in the morning. I will point out when the scene first starts and through the beginning of getting everything ready, like the mom's starting to get the oven turned on.
Yeah.
Like she's doing the very minimum
shit,
warming
stuff up.
She has. It's the only time in the movie. She's not got her
wig on.
She doesn't have it on.
No,
it's the opposite. No wig. She's
weird,
not
crazy
wearing
hair
it.
now.
Yeah, it's her real hair.
It's all white. Robert Downey Jr. when she first comes out, he's just like,
he said, "Who's that?
Who's that?"
Yeah, it's great. Again, he plays so well with this whole family.
He's great in this movie,
despite the heroin.
Yeah, it might have been because of the heroin.
Who knows?
Frankly, I don't know if he could have got that manic kind of behavior if he wasn't. I don't know.
Now we get full swing into things need to start going for Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah.
So after everybody starts getting ready, her mom says she's going to take a shower. We know that her shower's over. Then it's Claudia's turn.
Yeah, and this is where he comes in and takes the picture.
At first we hear, you're jumping.
Why is her mom in there
Well,
with
no,
her?
that's what I was going to say. You jumped ahead. So the scene starts with Claudia taking a shower, and for some ungodly reason, much like the changing clothes the night before,
her mom's just sitting in there.
she has no boundaries and
None.
is sitting in the bathroom with her.
She even asked her to shut the door. She doesn't.
Again, just stop jumping ahead. You're jumping ahead. I want to talk about the conversation because the conversation's important.
Oh, yeah.
The mom lets us know that she is still blindly pretending like she doesn't know her son is gay.
Oh, yeah.
Because she says, look at these two single bachelors swinging town to town.
Girl in every port.
So again, you were trying to jump way ahead.
I'm sorry.
That one's important because it sets up a lot of family dynamic.
And they're in denial about
Tommy.
Well,
she's in denial. The dad just is oblivious.
Yeah, I guess.
That's not denial. Like he's just like, doesn't pay attention. But the mom is definitely in denial because they know who Jack is. They've met Jack. They know this.
That's just his friend.
So again, it's very important, that conversation.
Yeah.
Then the mom leaves. And that's when it gets weird. The mom leaves and she doesn't shut the bathroom door, but that gets called out. We don't even have to call it out. She calls
she does.
It out.
She's like,
says,
no, it's fine. I shower in public all the time.
My next problem with the scene, though, has nothing to do with that and has everything to do with the fact that apparently Claudia doesn't understand how a shower curtain works because the way she has this shower curtain, and I understand it's for the camera so we can see out the door. But again, not taking into account directors and camera work, it just makes it look like she doesn't understand how a shower curtain works because it is open far enough that there is definitely water getting all over the floor.
It's like half open.
Since her mom left the door open, though, we get to see Tommy runs in on her, starts making weird noises, and pretending to be some kind of weird monster guy.
Yeah, something.
And then he whips open the shower curtain.
Ding.
Another Polaroid. Uncomfortable situation.
Yeah,
she can't even see.
Not even only naked, but like soap all over her face.
So she can't even see.
So she can't even see what he did.
It's awful.
She just knows there was a flash and a sound. She's just like, God damn it.
It's awful.
And then they go shopping, right? This is where they go shopping to go. They go out to do something here, right?
No, they no.
Because she gets pissed off and gets out of the car and.
Well, they might have go shopping. We don't see any of it. The main thing they I think maybe the mom said pick up some stuff for me. But the main thing that they're actually on the trip for is to pick up Gladdy.
Yes.
But yes, they are all the reason
The
Claudia,
double trip. They're going to the shop.
Claudia
They're going to go
gets,
pick up shit and then go get Aunt
but we
Gladys.
don't get told. We don't get told about the shopping. We just see that it happens because we see that they have
She's full.
bags of groceries.
Yeah.
So like I said, that's not important. They get missioned with that we see going to pick up Aunt Gladys. That's why Claudia got in the shower. That's what she was getting cleaned up to go do.
Yeah.
Was to hop in the car with all of them. Because the mom says, since Tommy brought his car, why don't you guys all just ride over
Yeah,
and
you
pick her
better
up?
go get her before she starts acting like we forgot her.
And so they do. They also apparently stop at a grocery store. On the way, there's a whole scene. They're in the car together. They're all driving. They did some different errands. We see there's a parade behind them at some point.
Yeah.
Again, it's just, they want us to see small town Americana, Bo. That's all this scene is setting up, right? Like, they just want us to be like, look, it's Thanksgiving.
Look, and everybody's out
Football,
doing shit.
parades. They get some food, which again, this would never happen. I guess in the 90s, you could still find some mom and pop shops that were open on Thanksgiving. Most grocery stores today are not open on Thanksgiving. Mom and pop, all the way up to chain stores. So we see though when they're in the car, Tommy starts, he just starts fucking with his sister.
Yeah.
He just starts teasing her. She says, all right,
fine.
She's fed up. She's like, I'm gonna get out of the car.
She tells him to stop.
She does.
And he stops the car and she's like, I meant you, not the car.
Yeah.
You know I meant you.
And so she
not
got
the
fed
car.
up and she gets out of the car.
She gets out.
And then he starts messing with her some more and pulls off. And when he pulls off, of course, some people she went to high school roll up.
Oh yeah, not even just people
Not
she
even
went to
the
high school with.
homecoming
The
queen.
fucking homecoming queen.
Trying to rub into her face like, oh, look how successful
Look
I
at
am.
me and like my fancy B&W
Yeah,
and
look
shit.
at all this stuff. Oh, and she's like, oh, you don't still live here though, right? And of course she doesn't. We know she doesn't. She
No,
lives in
she's like, no,
Chicago.
I live
She's
in
doing pretty good for
Chicago.
herself. And then she's like, oh, and your kid, right? You're like, I heard that, right? You got a son, right? A
There's
little boy or
something. She's like,
something.
no, I have a daughter.
And then luckily Leo Fish rolls up.
Yeah, saves the day.
And I love this scene though. He rolls up and the woman, he gets the age wrong. This is how we find out she's 16.
16.
He says, oh, her daughter is 18.
Yeah.
He was wrong. We find out after everything's over. But while talking to this woman, the woman is wearing a fancy fur.
For her mink coat or something.
Yeah, and he was like, good job with the...
isn't that endangered?
Isn't that an endangered species? She goes, it wasn't when I bought it.
That made me laugh.
No. And then he has the perfect snap back to her with, oh, I guess you did your part, didn't you?
Yeah. It wasn't when I bought it.
It was so beautiful. I loved it.
Right.
And Claudia even tells him.
She was very clever. That was very good.
During this whole car trip is when we get to find out that
Tommy has a nickname.
Tommy has a nickname for Claudia, and we hear it get thrown out, but it gets thrown out so much that if you don't have captioning on,
You
would be really confused because he calls her Clyde.
see. I saw it on my captions. I just thought my captions was wrong.
Well, because he also says Claude.
Yeah.
He goes back and forth with both, but he definitely says Clyde. And it's one of those things that it does catch you off guard if you hear it. Like if you're not looking at the screen, you're like, is there a character I'm not?
Is there somebody else?
Yeah. So I mainly
Was that the guy in the other car?
Right. So I mainly wanted to point that out while we're here at the car because it'll happen a few more times.
Yeah, I think
he'll randomly
at least
say
twice more.
He'll call her Clyde. It's just a nickname.
She's one of the boys.
Well,
I
slice
guess.
of life.
Yeah.
You know, again, like in the real world, you would just transfer in between all the nicknames that you've used for someone. You don't just stick with one only, and that's all you ever call somebody. I get it. Plays off weird.
Yeah,
a little bit
it's
sometimes.
A little weird.
But so Leo did save the day. They get back in the car. Tommy's still fucking with them. He's pulling the classic
Where you go to reach for the...
go in, get in. Come on, get in. Get in.
We're going to hurry. She's going to be mad if we don't get there. And then as soon as they reach for the handle,
I'm going to imagine it happen 3 more times.
Oh,
we don't see.
We don't see it, but it had to because Tommy's totally that guy. He kept backing up. He's like, no, I'm serious this time. I promise.
And so then we see they get to Gladdy's house.
Gladdy.
Gladdy is the crazy plant lady?
Yeah.
Like cat lady.
Not
with
even
plants.
his plant. She has like 300 plants.
No, 210.
210. I'm very sorry.
She says, how many you got now?
210.
210. Because I was like, Jesus.
And then asked her if she wants to see a giant boil.
And when she says no, Aunt Gladys just makes fun of her mom's lipstick.
Yeah.
And immediately bolts out the door.
Yeah.
Aunt Gladys is definitely eccentric,
Yeah, that's a good word.
right?
That's a good word. Eccentric.
She's got
Clearly
something.
made those clothes.
She's got something going on.
Yeah, there's something wrong with her.
She's got something going on. Try to leave this as unoffensive as possible.
She got real into the 60s.
I don't know.
The flower
She's really
movement
weird.
band.
They get out on the porch because they're, again, like I said, nobody wanted to hear about the boil. She made her backhanded comment about her mom, and she was like, let's go. Out the door.
We're going.
We see on the porch, though, it's a beautiful comedy as in the background,
Just in
not
the back.
addressed to us in any way out loud, is Tommy and Leo on each other's shoulders trying to change
change
the
the light bulb.
light. It's like she pretended they weren't even there because then she sees the car and she's like, Claudia, is that
this your car?
yours?
Yeah. It's like a carnival ride.
Again, it is a dope car.
It's a fantastic
Now,
car.
before getting in the car, though, she pawns off a lamp.
Yeah, she's like,
It's from The Price is Right.
yeah, she was. I won this when I was on The Price is Right. I want you to have
I
it.
only point this out because, again, it is also a pattern of behavior with her. She is constantly trying to give stuff away.
She does it later.
They get in Tommy's car,
Nice.
and when they get in Tommy's car, as soon as everybody sits down, Aunt Gladys farts.
Right.
She rips one, and
then doesn't sell it. She just acts like she didn't do it.
no,
She does
not
it
even
more than
no,
once.
no. It's not even that she does it more than once. It's she farts, and then as soon as she farts, we hear from the back seat Leo in the loudest whisper, like the definitely audible to
Everyone heard it.
in the car.
Yeah.
Was that you? And,
Nope.
and Claudia goes, no. Again,
And like
respectfully.
side eyes at Aunt
Well,
Gladys.
like you even eat it. And then she rips the second part of the fart. When Aunt Gladys definitely knows everybody in the car knows it's her. Because that's
She's
the kind of ballsy
at
she
that
is.
point, she's like, fuck it. They know it was me.
And then as soon as she rips this next part, she looks over at Tommy and she goes,
How fast can this thing go? Or something like
like the wind, honey.
that. Right. This is
Like the wind. I love it. That scene is so beautiful. And again, tell me that's not true family shit
all,
right there.
yeah. All
That's
the
some
best scenes have Aunt Gladys in them.
That's some true real world family dynamic.
Yeah, it
right
is.
there. Like somebody is that person in the family. The one that farts in cars and doesn't care. Like whatever.
Didn't even change her face.
It was my dad. My dad
Your
was that
dad,
guy.
he just get in or let it go. He don't give a fuck.
Didn't matter who was in the car. But then when they finally ride back, we're getting ever closer to Thanksgiving.
To Thanksgiving.
Aunt Gladys gets out of the car. Tommy opens the door because she couldn't open her door.
Yeah, she couldn't get
so
the door open. So
he opens
does
the
it.
door for her. She flashes him her knickers. And
Yeah.
he's like, she flashed me. Now, I will point out to everybody, though, she was wearing, I say knickers because
Yeah,
I want
that's-
you to understand these are like almost to her
Shorts.
knees.
Yeah, they
these,
were-
I mean, he's just making fun of the oddity of the situation.
Right, she's
Not
full
that
of
she
spreads
it
getting
wasn't
out of the car.
it wasn't supposed to be sexual.
No.
Again, she's just eccentric and weird.
My favorite character. I
She's
maintain.
crazy.
She's awesome.
She's crazy. And it just continues because again, this is her like moment to
Yeah, this is-
shine, right? Like between this and then her speech at
epic
dinner
speech.
that inspired our drink. She walks in the door, and as soon as she walks in the door, her sister sees her and just like, talk whatever to
Yeah.
her. And then she's like, I made a key lime pie. And then she goes, Henry's
Henry.
favorite.
It's Henry's favorite.
Key lime
Where
pie.
is he?
She walks in the living room. She goes, key lime pie. He looks at it. M&Ms.
M&Ms?
She made a key lime pie. Did you see it? Did you actually take a look at it?
No, I didn't see it.
It was smothered in M&Ms on the
She
top.
just smashed him onto the
It
top.
was literally like an entire, not even like the regular size bag, like the slightly bigger bag of M&Ms across the top of this key lime pie.
I mean,
Then we hear from the other room, Adele yells to Claudia, "Come check what's in the furnace." And Claudia just goes, "The furnace?"
So I'm
Oh
sure
shit!
that,
What's in the furnace room?
yeah, the furnace,
furnace?
I'm sure.
I love the deadpan seriousness.
But she is setting up the lamp that Gladys gave her while she says that too. That was nice of her.
No, she's gonna take care of the lamp.
Yeah, they got it plugged in and
She's
everything.
gonna leave it to her mom.
Here, Mom, you take care of Aunt Gladys' lamp.
But so she then walks into the furnace room to see Walter Terziak.
Sad sack Terziak.
working on the furnace. He's apparently her ex-boy. Tommy immediately shows up.
Yeah.
And we get this nice little exposition moment to
Right.
tell us he's her first boyfriend.
He's
right?
like, didn't you give him a blowjob? She's
Yeah.
like, yes, I broke his heart and I crushed him, and now Mom will not rest until I marry him.
And it's true. This man is sad sack too.
Yes, he is. Oh my
Everything he
God.
says, I'm just like, God, man,
Jesus,
stop talking.
just stop. No sad sack. No, it's not good.
Yeah, he lives up
Like-
to the nickname.
Like his sister and brother got fired and left town. His mom and dad
Died in a car wreck.
And then she's like, "Well, like, didn't you have a girlfriend and stuff?" Like, yeah, she married my best buddy. It's like, God damn, dude.
Now, I'll say they all call him sad sack, but he seemed to me to have a somewhat decent,
Yeah, he had a super positive outlook. He wasn't letting it crush him.
right? So they
He
can
was
say what
keeping
they
on,
want.
keeping on.
They say what they want, but he's doing pretty good, if you ask
Yeah.
me. He even handles it pretty well.
Straight back Stasiak. He's handling it.
He even handles it pretty well when he can obviously tell that Claudia is shooting him down.
Shooting him down. He's just like, well, I hope you have a good life and Merry Christmas if I don't ever see
Right?
you
Like you
again.
can tell that he.
Yeah, he knew about halfway through that. He's like, I am making no progress. I'm a dip because there's nothing wrong with this goddamn furnace.
Joanne and Walter show up after this, right?
Yeah, that's
they
after,
weren't there already before. Yeah, so this is immediately after, right?
Because Robert Downey Jr. season pulls up.
Tommy,
he's just
yeah,
like,
no, yeah,
ooh,
yeah.
battle stations.
Well, and as soon as they get there, Tommy jumps on their car.
Yeah.
Goes crazy. You can tell the
He's
kids.
got to run him out of the bunker.
The kids are scared. Joanne and Walter are fed up already. You can tell that
they don't like
the
Tommy.
relationship between Joanne, Walter, and Tommy is definitely stressful.
No, because
We don't know why yet. We find out soon.
it just seems like Tommy takes special glee in tormenting his sister and brother-in-law.
I don't even know if it's so much that's how. I don't think that's how it started. I think that's where it's at.
They're stuck up, not very nice people.
And so I kind of feel more like Tommy evolved the way he treats them from how they were treating
In
them.
retaliation.
Yeah. I don't. The way it plays out is like that kind of family
He's
dynamic.
not, I'm going to keep fucking with you to show you that you are not going to get to me.
Now that they're finally here, that means we now have 2 turkeys in the house.
Two
because
turkeys
they
and
made
like,
their own.
like 3 different kinds of sweet potatoes. Because that comes up, it's like, we have too many sweet potatoes. No, Walter will
Well,
eat
because
them.
Gladdy brought her own too
Yeah.
on top of the key lime pie because she says at dinner, yeah, she wants hers.
So we're set for sweet
Yeah,
potatoes.
so, and I want to go ahead and point out right now, we're not quite to dinner yet. It's literally a topic of conversation,
Yeah.
right? Like literally, like they're in the living room.
Yeah, they're
and
all
Walter's
sitting-
like, shouldn't we go help them?
Fucking
and
Henry's like, they don't want us to.
I promise, we need to stay here. I want to point out this isn't one of those men folk shouldn't go to
No,
the
because
kitchen
Gladys
things.
is out there too.
Gladdy,
Gladdy, my bad.
man, you're just killing everybody in this family's
I
name.
am.
You hate this family.
Fuck this family. I'm just kidding.
They are
They're
the
gr-
Larsons. I want to make sure you know that. Don't call them the Carsons.
The Lardens? What? Bunch of fat ass? No, I am playing. I like this movie. I'm sorry.
But yeah, Aunt Gladdy is out there. Claudia is in and out of there.
Yeah, she's popping
like,
in and
at
out.
this point, Joanne and
Mom have taken over.
Adele are the main people
Yeah.
in the kitchen. So that's the two controlling women. We can tell they
Yeah.
are both controlling women,
Yeah.
which is part of why they have a problem with each other.
Exactly is why they don't like each other.
And so
I'm in control. No, I'm in control. No, honey, I'm in control. No,
so
honey, you need
that's
to sit the fuck down. I'm in control.
and that was Henry's point. Henry's like,
yeah, that's why he's
You
like,
don't wanna be in the middle of that.
They don't want us in there.
we
Trust
wanna,
me.
and we don't want to be in it. We want to stay out here. We
Until
wanna leave that alone.
finally they pop out and act like they're like, oh, you bunch of lazy guys. Why don't you come in here and help us?
Well, but again, I want to point out though, during the scene, you can already see Gladdy pouring like.
Oh,
kicking
yeah,
back the
she's
wine.
starting.
She's kicking back
She's at least had already 1 cup.
2
He's
cups.
filling it up.
2 cups.
Oh.
The one that she finished, and she's about to drink
Drinking
this one.
yep.
I guarantee that one's finished before they sit down at the
Before
dinner
they sit
table.
down. Yep.
So 2 cups.
2 cups.
We're at least at 2 full glasses
Big
of this
cup,
wine.
Is
Yeah.
it not? Like ours are like what, like 8 ounce?
I would say hers is in
at
like some
least
kind
a
of like it's at least a
12?
10 to 12
10
ounce
to 12
glass.
ounce, one of those big
And filled.
to the top.
And again, that's not generally what you do with wine.
No, you do it about
leave
halfway.
room for air.
Tommy's sitting there, he's just pouring it in.
So she is getting white girl wasted.
Oh yeah, having a good time. I'm right behind her.
So she just keep in mind that the kind of wine anybody who's had boxed wine drunk
You
knows
ever been
the kind
boxed
of
wine drunk?
it's a giggly kind of
It's
drunk.
fun.
It's a weird.
It's the best.
You're in a you're in a very jovial mood.
Red-faced and happy.
You're in a very jovial mood. I just wanted to point that out because we are getting very close to our scene about why we decided wine is what we drink for this movie.
Of the whole movie.
Now, I'd say we can go and skip to dinner, right?
Yeah, we're at the table. Everything's set up.
They thought everything was getting close to being done. Then finally, the women folk came out.
Yeah, and was like, "You men help us carry these big ass birds."
And they did.
Yeah.
In all fairness, Henry almost
dropped it.
I'm surprised Walter was carrying. That bird looked beefy.
Right, 20-pound bird, easy.
It was like, again,
they're gonna have sandwiches.
They wanted to bag on the fact that Joanne and Walter wanted to bring a bird, but that bird really
looked good.
They can say what they want, but if I was at that dinner,
I'm eating that one.
I'm probably eating their bird.
Yeah, give me.
The other one looked a little wiry.
Dude, theirs had a huge leg because they cut the leg off the other one. It was kind of no, give me that one. That one way bigger.
Dinner opens with.
She's singing.
Gladys singing. I don't know what this
kind of
is. I don't know if this is traditional or what,
something.
but she is totally full on sing-songy singing. No, it can't be anything that recognizable. Do you know why?
Why?
None of them knew when she was finished.
Yeah, because she just kind of stops and
they're all looking at each other like, was that it? So again, this is all made up.
Right.
This is hers. This is her blessing.
Is this
song?
what she does every year? She sings her weird little song.
I don't know, dude. But then it passes from her, and before you think that's it.
Yeah.
You think that's the blessing they're gonna use.
Nope.
No, Adele's like, no, we need something real.
No, we're gonna do a real prayer.
And so she says a real prayer. She mentions
Leo for some reason
for coming and sitting next to Claudia.
I guess because her plan with Sad Sack didn't work. She's going to be like, well, there's this other handsome guy that I'm going to pretend is not with my son.
Well, again, at this point, though, I feel like more and more Claudia should be paying attention to the number of signs. Maybe Leo.
Not gay?
Yeah, maybe.
She's very clueless.
Well, I didn't say it.
She doesn't pay attention.
I didn't go there.
She needs to look around.
But so then, though, we finish with Mom, and you're like, okay, good.
All right, we're good.
Now we're going to start eating.
Nope.
No. Then Dad comes in, and you can tell he has never done this.
No.
You can tell that everybody is like, what is he doing? And he starts hitting them with...
we're going to shovel the turkey and
snow. He's just hitting them with, like, weird stuff. And then he's, like, hitting them with, like, what you should be thankful for.
Yeah.
Which is, like, the hard work that goes into things in the back, in the behind the scenes to make the days work. Because that's what he was. He was the behind the scenes guy at the airport.
He was the mechanic
He was maintenance guy.
And my papa did that.
So, again, he's just, he's retired now, and he's just in this weird state of, like, not being respected for the things he's doing, right?
Yeah,
like
he's just
but
like,
he does indeed say it backwards. He does indeed say that he wants to be shoveling the turkey
and stuffing the snow,
which is beautiful.
It's awesome.
I love it. But so
Gladdy and the dad are the best characters.
And so at this point, you're just like, man, are we ever going to be able to eat? Because people just keep talking. They won't finish. So, but then we finally do wrap up. Like, who does Mom give another? Someone finally does an actual grace, right? And then they finish. No, Dad. Dad just finally finishes his with an actual amen. And then we get an amen from everybody at the table.
A vehement amen from Gladdy. She's amen.
And then Joanne's daughter with the very 90s.
Yep.
A woman.
I said shut up to both of them.
Her daughter is the most cliche 90s kid in the world. And again, that's coming from somebody who was a kid
90s kid
in the 90s. But her daughter is 100% every cliche you can think of. Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
I'd like to see her grown up. Yeah. I'm sure I'd be her friend.
Yeah, me too.
We finally, we think we're getting ready. And then we get from Tommy the best line for all of everybody trying to do the blessings for the birds and all this stuff. That was absurd. Let's eat dead bird. At this point, an epic battle starting to happen over
the turkey
and who is getting whose turkey, right? Literally, like, we see that Gladys says she wants only white meat. Walter's like, I got it. That one's mine.
Snatches the plate.
Joanne's son
is like, I want a leg.
And so Tommy's like, I got you. And Joanne gets all mad.
No, he gets lean white meat, man.
We see all kinds of like crazy different things that are happening at the scene. One of them that stood out to me is that now all of a sudden we see that, Grandpa has had a camcorder with him
Yeah.
most of the movie. Tommy's definitely always, he's had the Polaroid. So we see where he gets it.
Yeah.
Right. All of a sudden now, Grandpa had two. Did you notice? And he hands one off.
He's double fisted
He
camcorders.
hands one off to Joanne's kid.
Yeah.
He's like, here, you start
Here, you-
taping.
you start doing
I was
stuff.
like, geez, man. This
I
guy
want to
is
see that
crazy.
kid's footage.
This guy is crazy.
Right.
No, because he was in the best angle for what's about
To happen. Yeah.
going to be happening soon. All kinds of craziness is going on with the turkey. Aunt Gladdy wants only white meat. She wants her sweet potatoes. Nobody else.
Nobody
she wants
else's.
hers. There's just chaos going on at the table.
Yeah.
Tommy can't seem to. Well, first
First, it's Henry. He can't.
he can't do it. He's literally. Did you notice?
It's upside down.
It was bad. And the mom's like, he's got bad wrist. Tommy, you got to do it. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, Tommy and Claudia are both fighting over doing it. Leo never says he'd do it until way later.
Way later.
Which is weird. You'd think he'd immediately would
He
have
just
been
wanted to be part of it. Just didn't want to be left out.
But so Tommy keeps trying. He's struggling. He's having problems. Now in the middle of fighting over who's going to cut the turkey. So again, I did start to go over it a little bit maybe because Tommy was definitely sitting down during the speech.
Yeah.
So he couldn't have been standing up cutting the turkey yet.
No, because
I'll give you that.
I think Henry was doing it and Adele tried to stop.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, I can do it. I can do this.
so
And I can play my organ.
Before Tommy stands up to start cutting the turkey though.
Yeah.
We have Aunt Gladys stand up, and she decides to start giving her speech. Again,
Yep.
mind you, this is after everybody else has said amen. Food has
is-
started being
yep.
passed around.
We're
she
starting to
said
eat.
what she wanted,
She did her little song even.
but she stands up with the
best-
wine glass
You're the best thing on two legs, Henry Larson.
and starts to
And just
she goes into
into
this
it.
speech where we find out she has had an undying love for Henry.
for the past 43 years.
43 years since Thanksgiving Day,
1962.
1952.
52.
This is
Damn.
95.
I was so close.
So yeah, in 1952, when Henry came over to their house for Thanksgiving, after leaving his mom's house, he still ate like a horse in a uniform.
Yeah. She loved that uniform. It's all blue and the silver.
We're not going to get into the real.
She is dripping wine off of her face
Just
too
know
doing
that-
this speech.
Just know that she is a very thirsty woman.
Yeah.
And she has been for,
For
42
43 years.
Yeah, all for this man.
All for this guy. And she says this right in front of everybody.
Oh yeah, mom, dad. I love this. Joanne tries to stop her, right?
She does.
And literally Tommy and
And
Claudia,
Claudia.
the instigators that they
Oh,
are,
yeah.
like, no.
No. We need to hear this. Go ahead. Go for it, Glad.
I think she needs to say this. She then proceeds to tell us that she kissed him.
Yeah,
one
he
time.
kissed me.
Now
one Christmas Eve.
I love that when this is said, when she goes, "We kissed." As soon as it's said, Adele freaks out.
Yeah.
Looks over at Henry and she says, "When?" And instead of giving an answer,
He just
Henry
hold-
looks at her and hand signals just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Just a smidge.
He didn't say
He didn't
when
give her
it
a
was,
time, nothing. He just holds up just like this.
like
little-
this much.
Like this much. Just a little kiss, I guess is what he was going
Yeah,
for.
no, that's totally what I.
Yeah, just a little peck. That's all it was. Meh.
I loved it. I loved the look on his face because he looked so lost.
He's just like, I don't even remember this.
It's so great.
That is clearly the look on his face.
She refers to his mustache.
It's like a toothbrush.
Mustache. It is a very trippy, very crazy.
then
she
she's
is very
basically-
drunk
basically
on wine.
passed out afterward,
but,
doesn't she?
but she finishes the speech and then
Finishes the rest of her cup.
down. So we're talking, I would say 3 to 4, right? We know 2 happened before dinner started. That is either the third
Third or the
glass
fourth one.
or maybe a fourth.
Yeah.
Full glass.
I want to say fourth because she just kind of for the
Yeah,
rest
she's-
of dinner. She's just
well,
like
she's
her
passed
chin
out.
in her chest, just down.
Yeah, she then passes out. Then we continue on at this point. Like we said, Tommy trying to cut the turkey. He's struggling. He's having massive issues trying to get the turkey cut.
Would you spot weld this, Mom? What the?
And then in the middle of it,
Boink.
it flies. Lands in
Right in Joanna's lap.
Joanne.
Joanne. She's a bitch. I don't give a fuck about her name.
Lands right in Joanne's lap, and she's freaking out, right? It's crazy. The daughter's like,
You ruined my mommy.
no, not yet. Not yet. Soon. She starts cussing. then
Yeah.
she's like, "You ruined my mommy."
Calls him a cocksucker.
And then, again, everybody's trying to calm the situation down. Leo?
Baking soda. We got to go get baking soda.
And Leo,
Leo and Claudia try to get it
they
off
pick
her.
the turkey up off her lap because she's freaking out instead of picking it up herself. She's just
Yeah.
freaking out, yelling.
And just juice
They pick it up.
all over her face.
All of the juice.
It just gets
all
so
of the-
much worse.
Turkey giblet gravy.
Yeah, just everywhere.
Everywhere. And then masterfully in this moment, she is now covered from head to toe in turkey juice. Literally, it's in her hair.
Yeah, it's in her hair.
After they
It's running her makeup.
and we see that Henry just happens to look down at his tie and sees the tiniest
The
speck.
tiniest little spot. Ah, shit. Look at
My tie is ruined.
Look at my tie. I know how you feel.
Joanne, I understand. Look at your dad's tie.
Look at my tie. It's ruined.
And she
Really
loses
spot.
it. And but to me, I was like, this is just the perfect. She's getting everything she deserves because she has been nothing but a bitch.
Yeah, the whole time.
She's been overbearing to everybody. She thinks she needs to control the mom.
yeah, she's like,
constantly.
and then she bitches. She's like, I can't do everything.
Yeah,
and
Claudia has to tell her like,
no one fucking asked you to.
Maybe stop trying.
Maybe shut up, sit down, and chill.
so again, I loved it. It was beautiful. She
great.
got what she deserved. The dad telling her like, like
Opinions are like asshole.
Well, no, even before that, this is the dad telling her, I understand.
Yeah,
like we're the
look,
same.
we are
that to
equal.
me, that to
Look
me
at my
was even
tie.
that was icing on the cake.
Right.
Because again, like it's not.
No.
He 100% was wrong about that. But the way that would have made her feel and how much I don't like her, I'm fine with that.
Right.
But yes, no. Then he does make the opinions. He has the best spin on this phrase. Like I've heard this phrase
heard it
100
before.
times,
This
but the
is
way
great.
he says it is beautiful. Opinions are like assholes, honey. Everybody's got one, and everybody thinks everybody else's stinks.
Right? I've not heard it that way. That's
The
great.
way that is worded, I love that everybody else's. The flow, the cadence of it as he said it was beautiful. And the daughter, Joanne, was just so like gobsmacked.
Like, just Jesus Christ, fuck you, Dad.
Adele had to tell him like,
Yeah,
"Whoa."
she's like, God, some compassion, a little.
It was beautiful.
And she's like, I'm gonna leave.
She's acting like all this other stuff. She's so mad. She's like, this holiday is a nightmare, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to say this before we go. Anytime you try to think, and she's been trying to make this the perfect holiday, anytime you start trying to make something the perfect anything,
Yeah.
you're setting yourself up for failure. Don't go in with that kind of mentality.
No, go in thinking it's gonna suck. That way,
Well,
when
not
it
even
doesn't,
that,
you're
but-
surprised.
But certainly don't set the ideal that you're going to make the best anything.
it's gonna be so great.
Much like the movie tries to point out, it's just to let things happen. The best will become the one that you look back on with the fondest memories.
Yeah, it's just the way it's
not
gonna
going to be
happen.
because you made it that way. It's going to be because it was.
Yeah, it's just the way it's gonna be.
So I just have problems with her already and that kind of mentality of thinking about this.
Yeah, we're about to have far more problems with her in a minute.
Then we immediately start to find out because she's so pissed off because she wants to blame Tommy for all this. I mean,
he
don't-
says something about her being a drama queen or something.
and she was a
And
little bit.
Yeah, she
Not
was.
because he wasn't directly talking about the turkey, and she was just trying to interpret it as being
Yeah.
because of the turkey. It's because of everything she's
Yeah.
doing. But then she starts to backhand comment at him, and we find out again. I've already said she is,
homophobic.
but this is the moment that we actually. This is the bombshell.
oh, this is the one
moment
where
of
you're
it.
like, fuck you.
She flat out says that she is offended by the fact
like,
that
I
he
know.
got married.
He got married to
on
his
a beach to
boyfriend.
Jack. Again, finally giving us
that what happened to Jack.
well, he told her with Sad Sack. Remember he said he was like, "You're just projecting right now. Me and Jack are fine. Everything's
I
good."
didn't catch that.
Yeah, no, he has. That's what I meant earlier when I told you that. He has constantly told her, "Leo Fish is a friend from work. There is nothing going on." He said, "Me and Jack are fine. You're reading things in on your own because you won't pay attention."
Yeah, I missed that. There was a point in the movie where I'm even like, I want to know what happened to Jack. Where's Jack?
Well, again, he still hadn't told her about the wedding. He
Yeah.
was keeping that hidden from
I was
Claudia.
happy at this point. I got to find out.
But my point being though, he has told her.
Yeah.
She has just not been listening.
Me either, apparently.
No, you're suffering the
fuck.
same problem she is. You're projecting, man.
I am. Fuck.
But so
Seek therapy.
yeah, so we finally find out from Joanne of all people
very
that
pissily.
he got married to Jack on the beach in Baltimore.
Yeah.
We can assume, because she immediately follows that up with some of us have friends there, that it means that friends of hers may have seen this. I don't know how she found out.
I assume that's what happened.
Right?
She had friends that were just like, "Oh, you didn't
That
tell
walked
me
by the beach?
You didn't tell me your brother got married on the beach last week." But she's a fucking cunt about it.
Yeah. Oh man, and we jumped over the Walter flipping out at the dinner table about banking.
Oh yeah.
Again, that's not important.
but
We're not
just
going to go
makes me
back to it.
not
But
like-
it's to paint the picture of how unlikable this family is.
Yeah.
Like nobody else was having a problem, and Walter had to make a problem. Everybody's ignoring me. It's
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. How many thousands of conversations happen at a dinner table?
Oh fuck! If you're at our house, good luck getting our
But you know what
word
I mean?
in.
Like
right?
think about it though. Like there are just like that's what Thanksgiving is.
Yeah.
Like people are gonna have this conversation.
You're having 5
and
conversations
then they're
all
going to
at
jump
once.
into a conversation with these 2 people,
Yeah.
and then these 2.
But he's
and these
over here all
3.
pissed off because he's not the
because he's center of attention.
I'm giving a lecture and you all are not listening to me about my banking acumen.
So, like I said, we don't even really need to go back to it. I'm just painting the picture
really
of
didn't
that
like Steve Gutenberg in this
Joanne's
movie.
family is all kinds of outrageous.
Yeah.
She makes all these dirty homophobic comments. Claudia's excited because she's like, all right, I love it. You guys
got
are
married.
good.
Fine,
Sweet.
I'm glad.
But Joanne, just to paint the picture of how unaccepting of again, he is just her gay brother. He
Yeah.
is not her anything else.
It's not like he's a gay prostitute or something.
He's just gay. She starts making fun of him for being a cross-dresser, which he's not.
No.
She starts making fun of him for all this other stuff because
Did you
she's
wear
like,
a dress?
"Who wore?
Did you have the blue garter belt and all this other
crazy.
shit?"
Literally, I love this because when the scene is finally over and she shuts up and it's all calmed down,
Yeah.
the only thing that Henry was worried about was the dress. He immediately just looks
You
at
didn't
Tommy,
wear a dress, did you?
and Tommy said no.
No.
And as soon as he said no, you could see Henry like,
Oh,
okay,
okay.
good.
I'm good.
All right.
As long as you didn't wear a dress, I'm fine.
I love that.
Right.
I love it. Mom still in denial.
After everything calms down for a second, Walter, I guess, tries to turn it on Claudia because he's just like, "What about you, Claudia? We haven't heard anything from you."
Now that everybody else in the family
Yeah.
has become the target.
Yeah, so
They essentially turned it on to Claudia. You can tell she's the oldest, so she's been she's
just-
usually the golden child, right?
Yeah.
You can tell that's what's going on here. But they only think that because they don't know. Tommy
Yeah.
always knows.
because her and him talk.
But Joanne, obviously not being privy, just thinks, "Oh, you're the oldest, you're the favorite, you're the this, you're
you
the
have
that."
your
And
glamorous
and you can
life.
tell that that's what she thought she was trying to do, and so she's like, "Tommy, you want to fill everybody in?" She doesn't even know yet.
Yeah.
She just thinks that Tommy's going to start talking about the limited things she's talked to him about.
Right.
And Tommy immediately starts hitting up with the information from the voicemail. He listened to it. Now's when we find out. Not only did he listen
That
to
was
it,
funny.
he is here because he listened to it.
Yeah.
He brought Leo fish because he listened to it. He thought that maybe this is what she needed.
Because he listened to it.
So-
it's great. She's just like, after he says the stuff, she's just like, "You're incredibly well informed." She's just like, "I checked my messages."
Yeah. But so exactly, he starts mentioning, he's like, "It's this.
You got fired.
You got fired. Your daughter,
your
or
daughter is-
my niece, my wonderful, beautiful niece, is probably losing her virginity this
/ getting pregnant at this very weekend.
at this very as we very speak in.
At this very speak end.
That's how he said it. I loved it. It was good. But so he just goes on and he's like, I think I got everything. And then she sits in his lap and she's like, "No, you forgot one."
Oh yeah, you made out with your boss. Why did you do that? Just 'cause?
I don't know. Yeah, it was so great. So great.
This is where Mom leaves.
Now Mom is
this
fed
is
up.
Mom's
She
breaking
fucking-
point. She's like,
runs
"Fuck."
to what again?
The
we've-
coolest pantry.
We've seen them in this kitchen 100 times in this
Right?
movie before this scene and did not know this existed.
It's
but she
awesome.
has a hidden pantry. It's
so
literally just a
cool.
wall.
It's so cool. I
That you
want
just
it.
push open.
You just push it and it opens and it's a hidden pantry. It's awesome. I want it.
And again, what's funny though is we see Mom in there like she's hiding. But again, if everybody that's in the house is family, they all know it's
That's
there.
where she goes.
So is it a good hiding place anymore?
No, but that's just where she goes.
And she was just smoking in there. So again, it's not even like she was hiding in there smoking because she smokes
Everywhere.
everywhere. She's always got a cigarette in hand. I will point out though that this part of the movie is great. We'd just seen the scene where the breakdown and she's freaking out about like my life's not perfect. She
Yeah.
picks up one of her mom's cigarettes, right?
Yeah.
As soon as we leave this little like breakdown that she has, because it's not big, Claudia just talks her out of it. Claudia's just kind of like, it's Thanksgiving.
We're all
you eat your
growing up,
problems away.
you know,
You
right?
eat your problems away.
You eat your
what-
problems.
And her mom's like, no, you don't. And it's like, yeah, you kind
You
of
bet
do.
you kind of do.
As soon as we leave the room, it's cleanup time. And we see that Joanne is walking around smoking one of her mom's cigarettes. At this point, all of the
Yeah,
kids,
everybody is smoking.
they're just, well, not even that they're smoking. They're all just
smoking.
stealing mom's cigarettes.
They're just taking them from
Yeah.
her.
It's a beautiful, again, it's one of those things, it's true family. Like that's how a family would really work. You know,
Yeah.
like you're all stressed out by that point.
And you're just smoking, chain smoking. Give me a cigarette. I don't even give a
I'm
fuck.
stealing mom's,
Yep.
whatever. Yeah.
Whoever has one.
It's great.
Who's closest?
Yeah, we're all growing up. But that gets brought up again later too.
Yeah.
We're all growing up. The other thing that happened in the closet, I'm sorry, I did jump ahead, but it was mainly just to address the cigarette thing because
Yeah.
they happened so close together. It's beautiful, beautiful scene that it paints. But while they're in the closet, the other thing we see is just the level of depravity the dad is starting to go through. Right? Claudia looks down at her mom's shoes and notices that there's holes in
Big
them
holes cut in them.
because she's wearing some cheap canvas shoes.
Yeah.
And she's like, why are there holes in your shoes? And she finds out that her dad found out that her mom had some bunions. And so to relieve the pressure on her feet, he has started cutting holes in the shoes where her bunions are.
Isn't there some kind of like medicated pad you could get?
I just love this. She's just like, I'm just worried about what's going to happen next week.
Right. This week he's cutting holes in my shoes. Next week, who fucking knows?
Right? It's beautiful. We cut away from there. That's the where you see cleanup. We
Dad's
see
outside
Joanne
washing
smoking,
cars.
Joanne smoking a cigarette. We get a phone call.
Oh yeah, Kit calls.
It's the last time we see her in the
Yeah,
movie.
the last time.
Again, not important.
No.
Very my so-called life.
Yeah.
Again,
She did not have sex with her boyfriend.
she did not. He's been a
being
rude
a
shithead.
dick, which, dude, just because
He's a 16-year-old boy.
I know. You thought you were in, but you're never actually in till you're in. Don't start being an asshole until you're in.
And that's what she says. He's
that's what he did.
catcalling and
yeah,
like
he putting his hand up her dress and neighing like a horse for some goddamn
Yeah,
reason.
I don't know that
I like Claudia. She's just like, all right, let me talk to his mother.
Yeah.
She's like, immediately like, oh, I'm talking to his mom. This stops now.
Yeah. And then what's great, and it's been mentioned one other time right before they get on the plane, they have a beautiful moment that they shared at some point in their life about the fish.
Yeah, they
Float.
went snorkeling in the
It's
angel
like
fish.
floating with the fish.
Yeah.
Right?
You just
But the
float.
daughter always refers to it
Just
as,
float.
she says, remember the fish.
The fish.
And so on the phone call they're having, she's wrapping it up, and the daughter says, just remember the fish. And you can see this moment because now is when Claudia knows that Leo
fish.
is a single
Yeah, he knows he's not gay.
heterosexual male
Who has apparently
actively been trying
He's been
to.
hitting on me this whole time. Oh yeah.
And so she is like, how do you know about the fish?
right? Who you been fucking talking to?
And she's like, the angelfish? Oh, yeah, those fish.
That fish. I get it.
My bad.
My bad.
It was so funny
Yeah.
because again, it was like she was getting this weird sign, right? Like she was just like, "Oh, everybody knows about the fish."
Yeah.
Again, we wrapped up cleanup. We're getting everything done there.
Yeah.
We see now. This was kind of surprising to me after the way Walter blew up at dinner, after the way Joanne reacted to everybody else in the family at dinner.
This was weird.
Playing football outside
Was weird,
right?
You're asking for problems.
I agree, but so they're playing, and just like you'd expect,
Shit got heated.
real quick.
Yeah.
Now, I will 100% say this was on Walter.
Yeah, it was. You spiking
He
a football.
Spiked the football
on
onto
that car.
that GTO.
Oh, buddy.
It wasn't asking for it.
I'd have shot.
So Tommy does exactly like he should.
Yeah. He
Defends
goes
his
right
fucking
at him.
car.
Slaps him.
Good, though.
He got
He
him
got
good.
him good.
Pop. Right in the face.
They roll in the dirt a little bit.
Yeah. And then Dad turns.
No, before the spray. Before the
Oh,
spray.
wait. Yeah, that's right.
Before the spray. Leo Fish tries to break it up,
Like a good bro.
and he gets decked in the mouth. Tommy decks him in the mouth.
Yeah, accidentally punches.
The only real punch that
the
gets
only
landed.
punch, and it hits poor fish right in the face.
At that moment,
Yeah.
dad, who we can't even see from the angle we see right here, right? But we find out whenever they leave is washing their
he's just
car.
washing the
he's
cars.
washing Walter and Joanne's car.
Just what he
if
does.
They're that if he's that close with the hose, it took him a long time to get over there and start spraying. That's the reason I'm bringing this up.
He just wanted to see who would throw the first punch.
But so the fight does start to go. Dad
Yeah.
starts spraying, and at first you're like, he's just trying to break up the fight. No, he is there to protect his child.
Yeah, he is.
Fuck Walter.
Fuck Walter.
Because Walter stands up and Walter tries to act like he's going to keep something going. And you can see, you see the look. You see the look in Henry's eyes. He sprays him and he gives him that like that intense look of like,
fucking step.
That's my kid.
Take another step. I'll fuck you up.
Let's see what we're going to do here. And so then Joanne runs outside the house and she's like, we're leaving. And they do. They jump in the car.
Full soap. All
Everything's
over. The
still-
sponges are still on it. It's great.
Because again, the man just doesn't know what to do with his time anymore. He's just trying to fill time.
He's just trying to find something to do.
They're finally gone. I'm good with that.
Yeah, good fucking
Fuck
riddance.
that family.
They are assholes. Fuck
She's
the kids.
been-
Fuck her.
Joanne's been a bitch from...
And I'm sorry to say, fuck Steve Guttenberg in this movie.
Joanne's been a dick from square one.
Second one.
So they all come back inside. Dad is embarrassed by
as
everything
fuck.
that's gone outside. While he was outside, he tells everybody, worry about your own holidays.
Go back inside.
Yeah,
The neighbors.
He tells everybody he just can't deal with the embarrassment.
Yeah,
of
we're
what's going
selling
on.
a house. I can't deal with the shame.
Phone rings. Mom's like, can't you answer it? We've already seen this. It's been mentioned in the movie once how he refuses
doesn't
to answer the phone. Refuses. And he does. He stands there trying to come up with reasons why, even though he
what
is...
if it's one of your bingo friends or that
Even though he
weird
is-
cousin who tells us to take the trash out?
his
He's
hand is
literally right
practically
there.
touching the phone.
He is standing right next to the fucking thing.
And so he finally was like, okay. And he answers the phone. And it's Jack.
It's Jack.
And we get this beautiful moment, touching.
This is why he's one of the favorite characters.
It's, again, we don't even ever see Jack.
No.
Other than in just a moment.
Yeah.
Never interacting with anybody. But this moment we get between the dad and Jack is just it's so simple and beautiful.
And pure. Right.
Right? Like, because this is a dad, we can tell he is literally just now coming to terms with the
Yep.
fact that his son is gay.
But he is going to be okay with it.
And so he's talking, he realizes it's Jack. He's like, yeah, you can talk to him for sure. And he's like, I need to say something. And I think I mean this.
That was the important
Yeah.
bit, is I think I mean this.
Congratulations. And
You can do better.
you deserved a lot better.
You deserve better, which I thought was good too.
Which is again, it's great. It's the little things,
Just
right?
a little
it's the
shot at my son, the moron.
and all of it just, again, like that scene, just like it's like again,
Was.
beautiful, real world, real life.
If you didn't like the dad before,
And it gets better.
now you do.
You get more and more insight.
Yeah, like the
into
dad
him.
is the best
From now,
character.
you get the upswing. Like right
Yeah.
before, it's been nothing but like, man, this guy's just out of his mind.
He's just kind of goofy, right?
But now we start to see the upswing of his character. We start
Yeah.
to actually see
He is a
who
good
he is
guy.
and what drives him. Yeah, for sure. Jack and Tommy get on the phone with each other. Jack tells him like, I'm with our real family.
Yeah.
And, again, that's how we all are. You
Yeah.
get a certain age,
All
you're
your
like, your friends
friends
are
and stuff.
family. But again, sometimes family is more than that, and you just have to
Yeah.
deal with it. After the phone conversation is done, we see that Claudia slinks to check on her dad,
Yeah.
see how he's handling everything, especially since he came inside with the freak out about.
Yeah, he's watching the football game, drinking some beer.
He comes in and she's just like, can I sit with you?
Yeah, you want a beer? You want to watch the game? Want some money?
I'll take you up on the beer.
Yeah,
And they do. They have
I
this,
just took the money personally.
they have this beautiful, touching moment where it's just the two of them,
Yeah,
quietly.
just watching the game, drinking a beer. It's good.
It is. That was it.
That was pretty
It's
much
a weird scene.
It was.
But it is just to let us know. Again, that's real life. I can't tell you guys the number of times I had what I would consider very meaningful moments with my dad, and all we were doing was sitting in a room together watching a movie.
That's nice.
It is.
Me and my dad watch wrestling.
It's the little things. So I totally understood and respected what they were trying to say. Like, again, like, it wasn't much, and
No.
it ended really quick. But sometimes it's those little moments. It's those little things.
Yeah.
Because that's not even the end of the day. They literally just show us this, cut away.
It doesn't cut to Gladys and
It cuts-
Fish on the piano, and they're singing.
They're
real
singing
terribly.
to each other. Yeah.
I wanna be loved by you, boo boo. And
Aunt Gladys is nuts.
no, and she's still very drunk.
Yeah. And so the mom, she keeps from making sure everybody is very aware of the fact that someone needs to get
Gladys
Gladys
home.
home.
And
Gladys.
I need
Gladys.
Gladys. Sorry. And you need to take Joanne's
stuff to
stuff
her.
to her. She conveniently
Dishes.
left her Tupperware here.
Of course, Claudia was like, "We
Really?
gotta do what?"
I gotta do what now?
Leo and her go. Tommy stays.
Yeah, Tommy, it's his idea. He's just like, because mom's always trying to set her up with
Well,
somebody. He makes him
need-
take the keys.
He
He's
does
like, I
need to
gotta
recover.
Yeah,
He did
is-
get into a fight.
Yeah, he did get in a fight, and he is wet and has no underwear, and there's no telling what kind of trouble he would get in.
So
I agree.
he needed to stay.
Yeah,
So first things first, they drop Gladdy
we can't
off.
take Gladdy home.
As soon as they get out of the car, this is the moment we were waiting for the payoff
Right.
of the ridiculous scene where they installed
changing
her
the
light.
light bulb.
And again, like I said, she is totally oblivious to everything. She did not realize they were there.
Nope.
She did not notice that they put this light in,
Nope.
even though they almost fell on top of her.
Right.
Because as soon as she gets out of the car and sees the light on her porch,
My security light's on. Magic.
Leo takes her inside, comes back with a lamp.
This one's mine. You can't have it. She gave it to me.
Yep, sorry.
Yeah.
Multiple times in the movie, he kept telling Claudia and Tommy, I have an aunt just like her.
Yeah.
I totally know how to deal with
I
it.
got
He does.
this.
He's good.
Yeah, he totally
He is
handles
very
her.
good with Gladdy. I'm sure I would love to see how crazy his aunt is.
Oh, she's probably worse. What are you talking about?
Well, there has to be a reason he's that good with
Yeah.
her. It's because he's like, she's easy.
Yeah, like your aunt doesn't bite.
This is nothing.
Right?
But so then after they drop off Gladdy, before going to Joanne's house, right?
Yeah.
They stop at a White Tower.
White Tower Burger?
It's
This is some
definitely a ripoff.
brand White Castle.
Yeah, so this is one of those things that I didn't have to look up. I just know this. When White Castle got big in the 30s, White Castle is the first fast food burger joint.
Nice.
It's before McDonald's.
I did not know that.
It's the first fast food burger joint. As being such, there are lots of copycat restaurants that opened mimicking the White Castle concept. So
At least
that's
Crystal went with like a completely different name.
that's why you can find in lots of cities what are greasy spoon type restaurants that are just the white this, the white lightning, the white this, the white.
So they're all just ripping off White Castle?
The original idea of what White Castle was. But yeah, so we do see that this White Tower is 100% a White Castle style restaurant.
Yeah.
100% looks like it, feels like it. The guy's wearing the paper
little
hat,
paper
which again
hat,
is a White
White
Castle,
Castle
thing.
thing.
Felt very much like that's what we were seeing. They stop here so he can get coffee. Dude's like, we're closed. And he's like, man, you can't be.
Because I walked in the door. If you were closed, your door would
I couldn't
be
be.
locked.
I couldn't be standing here. We couldn't be talking.
As somebody who worked in
He's
fast
right.
food, he's completely right.
I agree with this kid.
You didn't lock the door.
As dickheaded as it sounds,
Yeah.
I agree. Like I would never say
I
it.
wouldn't do
I
this.
I wouldn't do it, and if I did do it, I wouldn't say it the way Leo Fish said it.
Yeah.
But I do agree with everything he said.
Yeah, he is correct. The door was open. Therefore, you are still open.
And you
So
need
you
to
have
still
to
serve
serve
them.
me. It sucks when you work in fast food and that happens, but you got to deal with it.
You should still
sometimes.
accept it because that is
Yeah.
it's your job.
It just makes you look bad.
You wouldn't have the job making the money if there weren't people wanting to come in and do that.
And
It's shitty.
all I wanted was coffee.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
Not like,
Like,
it's not like you had to turn the grill back on or
like,
anything.
exactly. Like worst case scenario, you brewed some more coffee. Take some fucking home
Yeah,
with you.
5 minutes.
Pour it in a thermos. You got your
Yeah.
coffee for that night. Because we both know if you worked a night shift, you are not going to bed.
No, you're
yet.
going to bed at like 4 o'clock in the morning and you know it.
So you wouldn't be mad if there was some coffee to
No.
drink. So
I don't know what this kid's problem was.
I agree. But so during this moment, though, is when we find out, when we alluded to earlier, like I said, there's a history of compromising photos on Tommy's behalf.
Yeah.
Before he goes inside, they're talking, and Leo mentions
He showed me a picture.
before
got
this
here.
adventure ever happened, meaning that Tommy,
Has been doing this for a long time.
because he has another compromising photo that we would assume has been within the last 2 years, because
2,
again he was
3
trying
years.
to show it to be like this is the
what
sister
she looks
You're not
like.
going to try to show a
From
high
10
school
years
picture.
ago. Yeah, it won't do you any good.
So there's a history. Tommy is a pervert.
Voyeur.
I will point out, not an incestual pervert. He is gay. That is his sister.
Yeah.
A pervert nonetheless.
Don't take naked pictures of your sister. It's weird.
After they leave the restaurant, she realizes that he's seen her naked. They go
Yeah.
to Joanne so she can drop off her stuff. And she wants to have a heart-to-heart. She goes to
Yeah.
apologize.
And Joanne's not fucking having it.
Joanne's a
Bitch.
Straight up.
I do not like her at all. I don't care. Do you like everything that you're pissed off about? Sounds like you've done it to yourself.
Yeah. Well, again, Claudia's there to apologize.
Yeah, she's trying
She
to be
doesn't even want to apologize,
No.
but she was like, I'm going to be the bigger person. She says, I'm sorry. Never should have let things get like that.
Yeah.
We're adults. We're
family. We don't have to like each other.
No,
but
she didn't even say that until after this.
Oh, is it?
That's the end of the conversation. She's just trying to be like, I'm sorry. And Claudia and Joanne is just a straight bitch about the sorries.
Yeah, because...
And then that's when she throws out if I didn't know you, and you gave me your number, I'd throw it away.
Go fuck yourself.
So again, she's been rude as fuck. Then that's when Claudia hits her with
well, we don't have to like each other. We're
family. And then she fucking's like, oh, don't worry, I'll see myself out.
I like my siblings.
I certainly like more. I mean, that's insane.
I would not say that to any of my siblings.
Like,
I might
straight trash.
I might threaten to beat my brother's ass upon occasion, and me and my sister get along pretty good. But I would not do this. I would not be like, if I had your number, I'd throw it away and you fuck you. Yeah. God damn.
And they show us Joanne crying. I don't care. Literally at this point, I have so little care for Joanne.
No, I don't give a shit. Feel bad. I hope you feel bad.
We then see that Claudia and Fish are treating this like a date, right?
Yeah.
But in the dirtiest, nastiest kind of way. They both are like mouth full of leftover turkey. She picks something out of his teeth.
Oh, it was so fucking gross.
And he licks it off her finger like it's sexual. Right? I was like, this is all disturbing.
It was super gross. I couldn't.
Thankfully, Tommy wakes up.
Yes.
And is like, stop. Please
stop. Whatever this weird food fetish shit you're doing is.
And so it does. Then we see it's the next morning because they had to get up early.
Yeah, they had to
Tommy
get up
and Leo,
to leave.
Because they're alcohol distributors or
something.
They allude to this a couple of times.
Booze.
Yeah, because he's got special
baron.
boozes. Yeah, he's got special booze to bring his mom. But so they got to get back on the road.
liquor barn. We got to that meeting at a liquor barn or something. I was like, shout out.
So they go off. They got to take care of that. Claudia has another special moment with her dad. Again, this is that we get more insight into Henry.
Is this the plane story?
Well, it's before the plane story even. It's that we see him watching his old footage.
Yeah, the old family
and we
footage.
find out why he's got 2 cameras going and stuff. He's finally at a point in his life where he's just understanding the fleeting nature of life.
Yeah.
And how like looking back on your own memory will even betray what it actually was.
Yeah.
But that camera will show you.
Yeah, because he's
even if
like,
you look at it and it seems alien, you know that's what it was.
Yeah, because he got that bit about the pictures. He's like, I look in the pictures, I don't know that guy. That's some other guy dancing
some
with
skinny
Adele.
guy.
Some skinny guy. That's not me.
But yeah, so again, like we see that's why he wants to record everything.
Yeah, it's sweet.
But then the extra layer on top of that is he then talks about what is his favorite memory. And his favorite memory is obviously by what he tells us a memory where there was no camera.
Yeah.
Which is why he now wants to capture all the other ones. He couldn't capture that one.
There's the
layers there.
Yeah, it's
like I
really
said,
good.
You learn a lot about
sweet.
him.
I love Henry. He's my favorite character in the whole fucking movie.
Yeah, you're right.
He's the best.
He tells us his story, which is his favorite moment, which is when his kids were all kids.
Yeah, the little and he took him to see the
Claudia was
plane.
big enough. She's as the oldest. He held her, and she watched as the plane took off.
Yeah.
And they were standing where you're normally not allowed to be. Tommy and Joanne are both so little. They're scared. They're squeezing onto his legs, but not Claudia.
No, she's out there.
She's always been fearless. She's always been fearless.
Yeah.
He's always known that about her. Again, it's just this moment between daughter and father where you're like, man, this is beautiful.
Yeah.
Other than the birds in the background, what was that? You notice him? He's got birds in a cage behind him.
They mentioned
it's another hobby.
I
know, but it's God, man. His hobbies. He needs to stop.
Gotta find something, man.
But so it's just a beautiful scene, and then it's just time to go to the airport. It's time to take her home.
Yeah, she's gonna go home now.
They're driving to the airport, and during the drive, it finally hits her. She's just like, I
let him get away. I let that dude just leave.
Now I want to point out, I don't really think of this movie as a romantic.
Not really,
movie, but they. In the last 5 minutes, they try to
10 minutes, they really try to press that home, don't they?
Yeah. I think we could have literally cut the movie right here.
Yeah.
Before the car ride, right? Like end it with the dad, and then the montage we get in a couple of minutes.
Yeah,
which we'll talk about in just a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, end with that right here. Like right before we do this car ride.
I agree. This is where it should have ended. It's about 5 minutes too fucking long.
But instead we see this moment. She gets on the plane. And when she's on the plane, Leo Fish shows up
with the lamp.
And a jug of orange juice. You cannot do this today.
Fucking weird.
You cannot do this today.
No, you can't. No,
they would have been like,
food or
sir,
drink. You're not taking an orange
well,
juice.
because again,
on there.
for all we know, that was a screwdriver.
Yeah, call back.
But yeah, for all we know, that's a screwdriver. You just mixed it and brought it onto the plane. They're not letting you do that.
No.
But so he's like, yeah, I figured I'm gonna take a risk, because again, he's told her throughout the whole movie he's all about taking these risks and doing this kind of thing. That's what life is. And she's just like, okay, touching moment. Plane takes off, but then we get this beautiful montage, right? It's showing everybody in the Larson family
And their happy wrap
and
up.
their happiest moments.
Yeah.
Just like the dad told us his. So again, this is no particular order, because I do not remember the order, but I do know everybody's that we see. We see the dads again. It's what he told us with the plane taking off and the kids all with him. We see Adele's. Adele's is just being on a date with him at the bowling alley and dancing. We see
Tommy's.
We see Tommy's is at his wedding.
With his wedding and all of his friends and Jack and everybody.
We see Claudia. Claudia's is swimming with the fish.
With everybody, with the fish.
With her daughter. And then we see Joanne's, who fuck her, I don't care.
Something about squirt guns.
It's like the day they moved into the house. Her house. Because there were boxes behind them and they're playing. And I just don't believe any of it, because they don't seem like the kind of family that plays. We're not even going to talk about that. The next thing, though, we see the last one that is a definite supposed to be someone's happy moment, right? Mm-hmm. Which is Gladdy. We see Gladdy's moment with Henry and the toothbrush mustache and the kiss on Christmas.
And it is literally just a peck. Just the smallest.
It is exactly like Henry
It is
said.
exactly what he said.
She played it up so much more because she loved her wine.
Yep.
Gave her some false memories.
And she built it up in her brain.
But now the next thing I want to point out, though, is because before we actually finish, right? Like the next thing we see, but it's still doing the weird sepia tone like the rest of these flashbacks are, is Leo Fish and Claudia on the plane. Are they trying to imply this is Leo Fish's
happiest moment?
Because
Maybe.
why else is it in the sepia tone like all the other flashbacks?
It makes no sense otherwise. So yes, I stamp it.
And so we see that.
That is Fish's happiest moment.
And then we cut back to normal footage of the plane from the outside, of the exterior of the plane. So that's why I say, like, they gave it the grainy footage look. I feel like they wanted us to think, like, this is someone else's. We already seen hers.
Yeah. This is
so it has to be Leo Fish's.
Yeah, that's what I think it is.
Well, that's the movie, guys. Credits roll after that.
Credits roll. Great movie.
I'm glad I could introduce you to it. It's a movie that I always enjoy. It is, again, it's a dramedy. It gets a little heavy sometimes.
Hate it, dude. I really did. I went into this when you told me about it. I was like,
but it's so real, right?
It was really good.
It's real in a weird way. Like, again, you can just see, even if you don't have a family like this, you know, families like this.
Though, like whoever wrote this, I would believe that this
is literally their family.
Like this actually happened.
It's so great.
Yeah.
I hope other people hear us talk about it and go watch it if they haven't seen it.
It's really good.
I've been watching this movie since I was 11.
Wow.
In 95, I watched this movie for the first time. I love this movie. I've loved this movie since I was a kid. And again, it is not made for children.
No, it's not, but it's a really good movie.
I love this movie. All right. This is a review of getting wine drunk more than it is a review of Chardonnay. Because unless we're doing something of a name brand, of a specific company we might want you to look into, I don't know if we need to review specifics like that. But getting wine drunk, much like last time we kind of just talked about Screwdriver drunk. It's happy. I'm sure you probably noticed we've been very jovial.
Talking a lot. I'm very sorry.
It's been a good time, guys. Go drink some wine.
Go drink some fucking white wine, you guys.
On that note, though, Bo, what are we going to be drinking next week? What should people look forward to? We're done with Thanksgiving.
Yeah, we're done with Thanksgiving. We're going to roll right into Christmas, you guys. We're going to do Bell's Christmas Ale next week. Christmas. So make your guesses down in the descriptions, comments.
Wherever.
Fuck, email us. I don't care. But yeah, what do you think we're going to be talking about next week?
Let us know.
Deck the halls. I can't wait for goddamn Christmas. Joanne. She's a bitch. I don't give a fuck about her name.